want to talk about Kamala Harris withdrew from the race. She, as you know, a senator from California, and she believes she's in her first term as a senator, and she was running for president. She announced she was dropping out today. And I want to tie it to this thing I've been trying to talk about more and more, Feminexit. Now, you know the term Blexit. It's a hashtag, Blexit, B-L-E-X-I-T, which is Black and Latina exit from the Democrat Party. I want to talk about Feminexit, and I don't really mean from political party as much as leftism. We need a Feminexit from leftism. Because I want to tell you, when Kamala Harris announced she was dropping out, and, you know, I will say, I was among the people that thought she would do better than she did. I actually thought people would like her. She's very pretty. She's very articulate. She's got some substance to her. I mean, she's a senator. She doesn't just, wander in off the, from somewhere in left field. I mean, yeah, she's in left field, but I mean, she's a player already. She's in Washington. But she could not, as she said in her announcement, she couldn't raise enough money. She couldn't do well enough in the polls. And she basically had not qualified to be on stage at the next Democrat presidential debate. Couldn't raise any more money. Major donors were saying, never mind, we're drawing back. A lot of criticism about the kind of campaign she ran. And I know that there are gurus in the political consulting world and the people who run political campaigns, and they have all this, years of wisdom and knowledge about, well, you have to do this first and do this and don't do that. There's a list of things, and you never do this, and you always say that. And they think they make all the rules. And so they're criticizing her campaign. But I think her campaign failed for more serious reasons than that. But before I get to why I think her campaign failed, I will just talk about this Feminexit thing for a moment. There were leftists, the moment that Kamala Harris announced she was dropping out, leftists who were out there tweeting about this, saying essentially the fact that she couldn't garner enough support in her polls and raise enough money was evidence that America is filled with racism and sexism. They immediately went to the argument, well, if Kamala Harris could not garner support, she couldn't rally the Democrat primary voters behind her, it must be because of racism and sexism. I'll give you just a couple of quotes. There is one was this Eugene Gu, MD. This is from Twitter. Kamala Harris dropping out of the race while only white candidates qualify for the next presidential debate shows that white privilege and white supremacy cuts across party lines. It's not just Trump. We have a racism problem in all of America. And then they have another one. Kamala Harris was the only black woman running. Her presence on the debate stage led to frank conversations about race at a national level. With her out so far, no other candidates of color will be on the debate stage in December. And by the way, the debate stage is in Los Angeles, which is a majority minority city. And so far, Cory Booker hasn't qualified. I want to point out, though, some of the things about this criticism. One is that the woman who founded the big anti-Trump, the resistance, that the whole, resistance against President Trump, she's one of the lead critics out there complaining about Kamala Harris not being able to actually make it in the Democrat primary. Her name is, okay, it's not, I'm not going to say her name. Yeah. Actually, I think it is Leah Greenberg. Leah Greenberg, and I think Leah Greenberg tweeted some complaint about the only reason Kamala Harris couldn't get traction is racism and sexism. Some long blather like that. But Leah Greenberg is one who was back in 2017, she and her husband created the group called Indivisible. An anti-Trump, fight Trump at every step. So she's a radical leftist. She's a Trump hater. And she's livid that Kamala Harris is out of the race. But I want to talk to you about reasons I actually think she's out of the race. I think they're far more important, and they tie into Feminexit. Kamala Harris, to many people's view, they don't relate to her. They don't sense authenticity in her. If you're on the debate stage and you've got that kind of audience and you are saying messages in your opportunities to answer questions that resonate with the American people, your poll numbers are going to go up. When you say things that people hear and think, yeah, that's what I'm concerned about, that issue matters to me, and she's saying what I believe, your poll numbers will go up. But they didn't for her because people don't resonate with her appearance, with her, not her race or gender, but her manner of speaking. She has a very angry tone quite often. So I think that she couldn't say things that people could relate to. And the things she did say, people would often comment after debates, she seems inauthentic. But I'm going to tell you another really important feminexit reason. Kamala Harris was prominent during the Kavanaugh hearings when the U.S. Senate was hearing the confirmation to decide whether or not to put now Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, whether to put him on the Supreme Court. She was vicious. Kamala Harris, assuming that because somebody accused Justice Kavanaugh, he must be guilty. There's no possibility that this was a false accusation. No possibility. She treated him in a demeaning manner, in an accusatory manner, and I think millions of Americans, men and women, Democrat and Republican, black and white, and every other color, millions of Republicans watched that Kavanaugh hearing, including watching her, and thought, I don't like where this is headed. I don't like the leftist mindset that says, believe the woman. That says, if a woman says something happened, she must be believed. And all possible defense for the accused must be ignored. Can't even be listened to. He's not even allowed to defend himself. He is assumed guilty because accused. This was a Kamala Harris mindset. This turns millions of people off. It turns women off. Women watching that, watching the way that Kavanaugh's accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, was treated as though she who can do no wrong, she must never be questioned, and Justice Kavanaugh treated like already tried, convicted, and hung. They didn't like what they saw. They actually want to think that in this country, you have a right to defend yourself. They don't like the radical feminism that was pushing the idea it's true because she said so. This Me Too morphed into whenever a woman has spoken, we're done talking about it. It's true because she said so. I think that hurt the Democrat Party more than they know. I think it hurt Kamala Harris more than she knows. Because actually, women and men hearing that, watching that, what they end up thinking was, what if the accused was my father, my husband, my brother, my grown son? Women across this country and men did not like the attitude they saw in that hearing because it was essentially the attitude that says, once an accusation is made, you're toast. You're done. You can't get the office you want. You can't get the job you want. You can't get the appointment you want. You're guilty because someone said so. This will hurt her, did hurt her, I am sure. Even if people don't give that reason to a pollster, people don't like it. And the idea of just running off very quickly on the left to must be racism, must be sexism. I'm sorry. Democrat primary voters and general voters in America chose Barack Obama twice. Democrat voters chose Hillary Clinton in a primary. The Democrat Party voters have showed America they are willing to support black candidates and women, and so are Republican primary voters, happy to support black candidates, to support women candidates. But they need a sense of authenticity, and they need a sense that this person, I believe in this person, and I trust this person to do what's right. When you watch the way the Democrats acted on that Kavanaugh hearing, many Americans walked away saying, I can't trust the Democrats to do the right thing.